I planned a surprise for my husband's birthday, but before he came home, I got an anonymous video of him with another woman. Then I got the ultimate revenge. Hello, everyone. I never thought I'd be telling this story, but after everything that happened, I need to get it off my chest. My husband, Daniel, and I have been married for 6 years. From the outside, we looked like the perfect couple, smiling in photos, taking weekend trips, and hosting dinner parties for our friends. But behind closed doors, things hadn't been perfect for a while. Lately, he had been distant, coming home late, claiming work was overwhelming, and spending more time on his phone than with me. Still, I never suspected this. Daniel's birthday was coming up, and despite the growing distance, I wanted to make it special. Maybe, I thought, a surprise would remind him of what we had. I planned everything down to the last detail: his favorite dinner, a bottle of expensive whiskey, and a slideshow of our best memories together. I even decorated the house with candles and balloons. I wanted to see his face light up when he walked in. I wanted to believe that whatever was off between us could be fixed. But before he even got home, everything shattered. At 6:47 p.m., my phone buzzed with a notification from an unknown number. "Happy birthday to your husband," the message read. Attached was a video. My heart pounded as I hesitated, staring at the screen. I shouldn't open it, I told myself. It was probably spam, a scam, something stupid. But curiosity, or maybe instinct, won. I clicked play. The video was grainy but clear enough. A restaurant. Dim lighting. A familiar figure sitting at a table. Daniel. He wasn't alone. Across from him was a woman, long dark hair, red dress, manicured nails. She laughed, leaned in close, and fed him a bite of cake with her fork. He took it without hesitation, smiling, eyes locked on hers in a way I hadn't seen in a long time. Then, the moment that made my stomach drop. She reached across the table and took his hand. He didn't pull away. He squeezed back. The timestamp on the video? Earlier that afternoon. My fingers went numb as I watched. This wasn't just a friendly lunch. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was intimacy, familiarity, two people completely comfortable in each other's presence. My husband had spent his birthday with her before coming home to me. The video ended, but I played it again. And again. Each time, my stomach twisted tighter. Who sent this? How did they have this footage? Why did they want me to see it? I stared at the unknown number, debating whether to reply, but my hands were shaking too much to type. My perfectly planned evening, the dinner, the candles, the memories, felt like a joke. How pathetic was I? While I had been pouring my heart into making his birthday special, he had been celebrating with another woman. I wanted to scream, cry, throw something, anything to release the hurricane inside me. Instead, I did nothing. I just sat there. Minutes passed. Then an hour. The candles burned low, wax dripping onto the table. The food grew cold. My phone sat beside me, silent, no follow-up messages, no explanation. Just proof of my husband's betrayal. Then I heard the front door unlock. Daniel was home. And just like that, the paralysis broke. My mind snapped into focus. I wasn't just a heartbroken wife. I was a woman scorned. I had a decision to make. And I knew exactly what I was going to do next. The door clicked shut. Footsteps echoed down the hallway. My heart pounded so hard I swore he'd hear it. I had spent the last hour frozen in shock, replaying that video over and over. But now, as Daniel stepped inside, something shifted in me. The heartbreak was still there, but it had transformed, solidified into something sharper. Rage. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to beg for answers. No. If my husband wanted to humiliate me, he had no idea who he was dealing with. "Hey, babe," Daniel's voice rang out casually as he walked in, setting his keys on the table. "Sorry, work ran late." Liar. I gritted my teeth but forced myself to stay calm. The weight of my phone in my palm was almost grounding. That video, the proof, was still there, burning in the back of my mind. But I didn't move. I didn't confront him. Not yet. Instead, I turned to face him, plastering on a forced smile. "Hey," I said softly, my voice carefully controlled. Happy birthday. His eyes flicked over the table, the untouched dinner, the melted candles, the expensive whiskey. A flicker of guilt crossed his face, but he masked it quickly. Wow, you really went all out. He walked toward me and pressed a quick kiss on my cheek. His lips felt foreign. Disgusting. I wanted to make tonight special for you, I murmured. But you must be exhausted. Busy day? He nodded, rubbing the back of his neck. Yeah, meetings all day. Barely had time to eat. I almost laughed. Barely had time to eat? That video said otherwise. The image of the woman feeding him cake flashed in my mind, but I swallowed down the bile rising in my throat. This was worse than I thought. He wasn't just cheating, he was lying to my face without a second thought. I could have exploded right then. Shown him the video. Screamed. Demanded an explanation. But I didn't want an explanation. I wanted revenge. And I had to be smart about it. That night, I pretended everything was fine. I laughed at his stupid stories. I poured him a glass of whiskey. I let him think he had me fooled. Let him be comfortable. Because comfortable people made mistakes. Once he was asleep, I grabbed his phone. His password hadn't changed. Why would he change it when he thought I was blind to his betrayal? I opened his messages. Nothing. I checked his call log. Still nothing. Then I opened his emails, scrolling through work updates and spam, until I found one single email that changed everything. A reservation confirmation. From the same restaurant in the video. It was booked for 2 people. The sender? Not Daniel. Her. Her name was Vanessa. Now I had something real. A name. A digital footprint. And I was going to use it. I searched for her on social media. It wasn't hard to find her. Daniel had a type, after all. Tall, brunette, overly confident in a way that made my stomach turn. Her profile was filled with perfectly curated photos, but one stood out, a selfie of her in the same red dress from the video, captioned, "Best day ever, Redheart." Posted this afternoon. Rage threatened to consume me, but I pushed it down. I wasn't done. I scrolled further and found what I needed, her workplace. A high-end real estate firm in the city. I dug deeper. Found her boss. Found everything I needed to destroy her life. The next morning, I played my role perfectly. Kissed Daniel goodbye. Told him to have a great day. I watched him leave, knowing he had no clue what was coming. Then, I got to work. First, I sent the video to Vanessa from a fake number. No words, just the video of her and my husband, clear as day. I imagined her face draining of color as she realized someone had been watching. That someone was me. Then, I crafted the next message. To her boss. A professional, anonymous email. Polite, but direct. Informing them that one of their employees had been caught engaging in highly inappropriate behavior with a married client. I attached the video for proof. Next, I called the restaurant where they had their little date. I pretended to be a reporter working on an exposé about local businesses allowing unethical client affairs. The manager, flustered, promised to look into it. I didn't need them to do anything, I just wanted to shake things up. Finally, I prepared for the grand finale. Daniel's birthday party. I had planned it originally as a loving celebration. But now it was the perfect trap. That evening, I set up everything as planned. Friends and family arrived, laughing, drinking, celebrating. And Daniel? He had no clue. He kissed my cheek, whispering, "You're amazing, babe." I smiled. "Oh, you have no idea." Then, just as everyone raised their glasses for a toast, my phone buzzed. A single message from Vanessa. "You ruined my life, you psycho." Good. That was the point. I turned to the TV screen where a slideshow of Daniel's childhood photos had been playing. But now, I had changed the final slide. One simple frame. The video. It played in front of everyone. Silence filled the room. Then gasps. Then chaos. Daniel turned to me, eyes wide, panic setting in. "What the hell is this?" I tilted my head, faking innocence. "Oh, just a little memory from your birthday. Thought you'd enjoy it." His mother was already in tears. His father looked disgusted. friends stared, whispering. His entire world crumbled in an instant. And I simply picked up my drink, took a sip, and watched him fall apart. The room was frozen. No one moved. No one spoke. On the big screen, my husband sat in that dimly lit restaurant, hand in hand with his mistress, letting her feed him cake like some kind of lovesick fool. The video looped one last time before the screen faded to black. Then, silence. I took another slow sip of my drink. I wanted to savor this moment. Daniel's face had lost all color. His jaw clenched, his breath uneven. He looked around, desperate for someone, anyone, to explain this away for him. His mother had her hand over her mouth, horrified. His father looked disgusted. Our friends shifted uncomfortably, some whispering. Then, finally, he found his voice. "What the hell is this?" His voice was tight, controlled, like he was trying not to lose it. I tilted my head. "Oh, just a little birthday surprise." His eyes darted back to the screen, as if willing it to disappear. Then he turned back to me, voice dropping low. "We need to talk." "Now." I raised a brow. "Now you want to talk? That's interesting. Because when I planned this whole night for you, you were too busy celebrating with her." The room tensed. My words hit their mark. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "We are not doing this here." "Oh, but we are," I shot back, my voice unwavering. "I spent weeks planning this night for you, Daniel. And you spent your day with Vanessa." Murmurs spread through the crowd. His mother finally found her voice. "Daniel, tell me this isn't true." His nostrils flared. He turned toward her. "Mom, He cut himself off, looking around, realizing every single person in the room was waiting for his response. He was trapped. I crossed my arms. "Go on, Daniel. Tell everyone how you were in meetings all day. Tell them how you barely had time to eat." He swallowed hard. I took a step forward. "Or better yet, why don't you explain to your mother why another woman was holding your hand on your birthday?" His mother gasped, taking a step back. I could see the moment her heart broke. She shook her head, eyes welling up. "Tell me she's lying, Daniel. Please." He had nothing. No excuses. No lies that would work this time. And I wasn't done. I pulled out my phone, opening my messages. Vanessa had a lot to say when she got the video. I scrolled until I found it, then read aloud, "You ruined my life, you psycho." The crowd stirred. Someone muttered, "Holy sh**T." I smiled. I guess she wasn't expecting me to fight back. I turned to Daniel. "I wonder if she's expecting you to call her after this. If she even wants to hear from you after what I sent her boss." Daniel's head snapped up. "What did you do?" I shrugged, feigning innocence. "Oh, nothing much. Just sent the video to her employer. Mentioned how unprofessional it is to date married clients." I let my words sink in. By now, she's probably looking for a new job. His hands clenched into fists. "You're insane." I laughed. "Oh, Daniel, I'm insane? I'm the problem here." I gestured around the room. "Funny, because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're the one who just got exposed for cheating on his wife in front of all his friends and family." His mother was crying now. His father had his arms crossed, shaking his head in disappointment. "Get out," his father said, voice thick with disgust. Daniel whipped his head around. "What?" "You heard me," his father repeated. "Get out of my house. Now." This wasn't just my revenge anymore. This was consequences. Real ones. His father turned to me, eyes full of regret. "I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You deserve better than this." I swallowed the lump in my throat. I wasn't going to cry, not now. Not in front of Daniel. Daniel looked back at me, something desperate in his expression. "We can fix this. Just give me a chance to explain." I shook my head. "You had your chance." I grabbed my purse, took one last look at the wreckage I'd left behind, and walked out the door. The aftermath the next few days were a whirlwind. Daniel tried calling, texting, apologizing, saying it wasn't what it looked like, saying we could work through this. But he wasn't sorry he cheated, he was sorry he got caught. I blocked him. His family, however, they didn't. His mother called me 2 days later, voice heavy with shame. "I don't know how to apologize for him," she said. "But I want you to know, you'll always be family to us." It was the closest thing to closure I would get. As for Vanessa, well, her social media went dark. From what I heard through mutual connections, she did lose her job. And Daniel? He lost more than that. He lost everything. His marriage, his reputation, his family's trust. And me? I moved on. I thrived. Because the best revenge wasn't just exposing him. It was proving that I never needed him in the first place.